You know, everybody's terrified of aging. But what is aging? Is aging just wear and tear? What kind of wear and tear? You see, there's all these vague terms about aging. But the problem is, without understanding what the wear and tear is, how the wear and tear occurs, and what to do about it, you're just going to age the normal lifespan of a human being, and you just drop out of the game. Me? I think it's a little more complex, but at the same time, the solutions are very simple. You see, when you think about life, and you think about what causes aging, you have to first remember what it was like to be young. You know, when you're young, and the reason people are young is because they're living inside of a young body. I know this sounds totally absurd, but it's true. And when you think about it, a young body has a very low amount of methylation on the DNA, a very low amount of stored toxins, a very low amount of radiation damage and insults to the chemistry, a very low amount of the problems that occur as you live on this planet. You know, it's eating that gets us into this mess, because it's eating that delivers all these toxins and stuff, because you have to have food so you have metabolic function, you can grow muscle and all that kind of thing. But things build up. Tryptophan and tyrosine metabolites mimic CoQ10. Your CoQ10 is used in the body as an electron donor to provide neutralization of these free radicals. But these metabolites don't do that. But you get rid of them during a dry fast. So your body goes back to normal homeostasis. And that's where dry fasting comes in. You see, dry fasting not only clears out the toxins by activating autophagy, but the most important part of dry fasting's ability to improve your health span and lifespan is the fact that it starts really cranking up autophagy. You dry fast every night. You dry fast when you sleep because you're not drinking and you're not eating while you sleep. So in that respect, you already dry fast. What was found out was that when you extend the period of not eating and not drinking, some really amazing things happen. Because as soon as you exhaust all the glycogen in your system, and because you're not drinking, your blood solids go up. It stimulates osmoreceptors in the hypothalamus in the brain, which stimulates the release of factors that cause the pituitary to release antidiuretic hormone and growth factors so that you don't use up your muscle in gluconeogenesis while you're dry fasting. The antidiuretic hormone goes into the bloodstream, goes all the way down to the kidneys, to the renal medulla that sits on top of the kidneys, and stimulates it to release epinephrine. Epinephrine goes into the bloodstream and then goes to the fat cells and starts activating lipase. That's why dry fasting is so efficient. It starts opening up your fat cells, which is where most of your toxins are stored. So your toxins are being depleted and your fat cells are being used up, so you lose some weight. That's always a good thing. But that's not the most amazing thing, because on the third day, you stop protein kinase A. Protein kinase A is usually active in the body due to pancreatic function, and because of that, it's in there to prevent you going into massive stem cell replication, because you don't want to have that happening every day of your life. But when it turns off, that's the signal for all the stem cells all over the body for a system-wide stem cell regeneration. Now, the same thing that happens to cells can happen to stem cells, which is stem cell senescence, or just regular cellular senescence, where the cells become so damaged and the lysosomes become so damaged that they can't really dissolve anything. The cell fills up with all these toxic fluids and broken proteins and starts secreting all these toxic cytokines and damages surrounding cells. That's why we use the Fisetin in the Phoenix protocol. Fisetin kills senescent cells. And we've seen the evidence that senescent cells, once they're removed, can restore quite a bit of youth. That's one aspect of the protocol, is the Fisetin. One of my viewers asked about Polyphenol Plus, because I mentioned that in one of the last videos. Polyphenol Plus is one of these combinations of naturally occurring plant flavonols with the addition of resveratrol, another one. And what that does is it allows you a very low dose application of these plant phytonutrients to actually have a synergistic effect, to have these plant pheromones work a lot better. In research, they found that very large doses of things like curcumin and things like that are really not that good for you. But if you drop the dose down to a minuscule amount and add resveratrol, the synergistic effect has a huge impact on the health of your mitochondria, in your nerve cells, in your liver cells, all over the body. So the polyphenol plus is to make sure you have protection against reactive oxygen species in the mitochondria and the restoration of mitochondrial function, as well as other things in the body, but mostly it's for your mitochondria. We also include a thing called stem cell regen, because after your stem cells have been regenerated during a dry fast and new stem cells are residing in all the niches, they're secreting paracrine signals that have a very interesting effect. They actually make surrounding cells behave like younger cells. Stem cell regen is specifically for helping your immune cells function and create brand new immune cells in the bone marrow. It's found that the ingredients that we put together in this one have a 70% increase in immune cell function in bone marrow. And that's what's interesting, because when you stimulate the stem cells, they have to have guides, and the guides are the immune cells. This happened during embryogenesis when you were just a fertilized egg. Those stem cells and the immune cells of your mother guided all the cells into the right position to make you. The resveratrol 1000 is another addition to this protocol, because the resveratrol 1000 is a stimulation to the mechanisms that make NAD+, and you cannot have proper cellular function without functioning sirtuins, and sirtuins cannot function without NAD+. And your sirtuins are able to demethylate your cells, change the problem associated with viral attack, and keeps you healthy. You don't get ill, you don't get sick. If your sirtuins are working, you just don't get sick. So there's where we are. The Phoenix Protocol is a way to fight aging in a very unusual way. It's to extend lifespan, not just health span. You get the health span by getting rid of the toxins, but lifespan can be extended by activating your stem cell population. And I talk about this as a new type of stem cell they found called Muse-AT stem cells. These particular stem cells are pluripotent. They can become all three germlines. They can immediately differentiate into new cells, and they're released on the third day of a dry fast from the fat cells, which, along with the triglycerides cut up into free fatty acids and glycerol, they go into the bloodstream. They start repairing the vascular wall. The Phoenix Protocol is a very interesting idea because it incorporates dry fasting as a foundation for a different type of life extension protocol. By using Physitin to get rid of your senescent cells, by using the stem cell regen, the polyphenol plus, and the resveratrol afterwards, you protect yourself from virus, you have an active immune system with brand new fresh immune cells, and you have your mitochondria protected. You've got to have all those three things in place to extend your biological physical life. Like on the screen behind me, that cell, that's what you are. You're 37 trillion of them, all coordinated, all of the same DNA. Some of that DNA is expressed or suppressed to make an eye cell or a liver cell, but it's all cells. You're a huge multicellular organism. And that doesn't even count the microbiome that's sitting in your gut. So there's where we are. People are afraid about aging, and people don't know what to do about it. I think I know what to do about it. And that's where the Phoenix Protocol comes in. It's only half the story. You still have to work on muscles and bones and keep them healthy and stuff when you're not dry fasting. That's what neogenesis is all about. But people worry about aging, and people think it's just wear and tear. But what's causing the wear and tear? Because all these toxins cause a low-grade inflammation that will wear everything out if you don't get rid of them. It's like dragging around tons and tons of weight, adding to that weight every day, unless you get rid of it during a dry fast. So yeah, you can slow time down, but what I'm trying to do is interrupt aging, to be able to maintain a youthful metabolism at any age, because youth is not measured in age, youth is measured in functionality. Functional immortality is the way to extend lifespan. The Phoenix Protocol and Neogenesis is the way to achieve that. So if you're afraid of aging and you want to slow it down, do a little dry fasting. Start with a 2-day, 3-day to show that you can do it. But you've got to do at least a 5 or a 7-day to get the real benefits of the stem cell regeneration and the real flushing of your toxic load.